Hello and welcome to the One People Show.
So did you guys all get a chance to see my complete freak out in the UnFuckers room to this evening, just about 3 hours ago? Oh, come on, guys. That was a classic freak out of mine. I was literally fucking pulling my hair going, no fucking way. No. Oh, Dawn, they changed history again. And it's, okay, there's a funny story to this. This weekend, I sat there and was like, things seem to have calmed down. Like, as far as like, there hasn't been really any new major Mandela effect shit come out. I was like, I guess things have kind of calmed down a little bit. I wonder what's going on. Like you start questioning, like when you don't see the major pieces coming out almost every, because we're spoiled and we expect them every week now. So I literally today was like, things feel really weird. Like all day today, I kind of, from the moment I woke up, things felt off, kind of strange, weird. And I just have had no motivation today to do anything. Like I said to Nick, I was like, I just can't keep a thought in my head. Like it just feels like you're running in circles all day. Like you get up to do one job, go put laundry away. And you get halfway through it and then you get distracted by something else. So I've spent like all day kind of jumping from things, even sitting down at the computer. I was like, I'll do some research on some stuff. No, like I couldn't get into anything. It just all day. So it was after dinner and I was going through the UnFuckers room and I actually was going to pull out all these, go to my wall, pull out all these links, yes, Moksha, yeah, it did. Ominous feeling today, but it shifted 1 to 2 hours ago. And it did. But strange. So I'm looking through the UnFuckers and I see Rob's post asking for verification of one of the links that had been posted a while back about Japan balloon bombing America during World War II. And I jokingly gone in earlier in the day and been like, yeah, still didn't happen in my reality. And then off I was. And then, I don't even remember who it was. Someone made a post about Japan and Mexico. And I was like, what? So I went and I was immediately Google search, Google tool, right? Mexico and Japan, World War II. And the first article that comes up has got this talking about German boats, German U-boats bombing and torpedoing Mexican oil tankers off the coast of Florida during World War II. And I'm like, no, there were no German U-boats off of the coast of Florida. Well, Tracy, it gets better. It gets fucking better. I start going in, so I go look up basically America's the American. They call it, but what do they call it? The American. Hold on, I have to pull up what they call it. They actually have a term for it and everything. Oh, wrong fucking window. Hold on. They call it American theater. And I'm sorry, I love the choice of words. It's called American theater in World War II. And this thing goes into all these battles that happened. The Battle of the Atlantic was the largest lasting battle in all of World War II. And it's talking about German U-boats patrolling all up and down the eastern seaboard, blowing up ships, hundreds of ships, merchant vessels, and of course, blowing up the supply lines, supposedly going from the States, and Canada. And I'm just sitting there going, there's no fucking way. This did not happen. Did not fucking happen in my reality. I did not and that Japan invaded Alaska. No, they didn't just, shoot a torpedo off or bomb Alaska with like their little fucking balloons. No. They occupied Alaska, the Andalusian Islands, for like a year. I'm like, no, did not fucking happen. No, didn't fucking happen. Then it catches my attention. Of course, Canada gets mentioned, and I'm like, because when we'd had this conversation, what was it, like a month and a half ago or something? The thing came up was the balloons. Like Japan sent lovely balloons all the way from Japan over to drop bombs on the States. And I was like, yeah, it didn't fucking happen in my reality. No. But we all discussed this in the UnFuckers room. And there's a few people who remember it happening. A lot of people who were like, no, it did not happen. And that the only explosion from these bombs happened in Oregon. I go looking, now we've got to change. Because now it's saying that a U-boat, not a U-boat, pardon me, a Japanese airplane dropped 2 80-kiloton bombs, 80-something or other bombs in Oregon. Airplanes, Japanese airplanes. First of all, I'd like to know how the Japanese airplanes got all the way over to the fucking United States from Japan. Yeah, Tom is pulling up all the fucking links as he does. So I go to the Canada shit. First of all, they're now saying that Japanese balloon bombs got all the way across Canada, and some of them landed in Manitoba. Did not fucking happen. Like, I'm like, brain just, then I'm looking, German boats, subs went up the St Lawrence Seaway in Canada as far as Quebec City. And we're blowing up merchant ships in St Lawrence Seaway. Didn't fucking happen. I literally, what do you do when you see this? Like, all you can do is laugh. Like, I'm reading this stuff, and I've got all the Wikipedia pages, and I've highlighted all this fucking battles that supposedly took place, like in Canada. German spies were dropped off in Canada during World War II. Didn't fucking happen in my reality. Crazy fucking shit. But the biggest one for me is, because I know, guys, we discussed this in UnFuckers. We discussed it back when the whole thing with the balloon bombs came out. And we talked about the fact that that was the only thing, the Japanese, they dropped this balloon bomb, and then someone said something about, a Japanese submarine torpedoed Vancouver. And I was like, no, this still didn't happen in my reality. But I went looking for that information. I went down that rabbit hole. Like I said, it was like a month and a half ago. And I went all the way down. And I looked. And they talk about the balloon bombings, and they talk about some submarines, Japanese submarines, that fired on Vancouver and fired in some other places. No mention of an airstrike by a Japanese plane. And now, the only airborne, if you will, strike that happened was in Oregon. Interesting, it happened in the same state as the only balloon bomb that hit. And I just can't fathom it. I mean, how do they even explain to the fact of planes back then could not fly from Japan all the way to the United States? I mean, did they have an aircraft carrier just hovering off, so they did leapfrog across the Pacific to get to the States? I don't know. I'm telling you. Fucking brain just kind of today. So I sat there, was like, oh, isn't that interesting? Just that I had said, wow, things have been so quiet. We haven't seen any really major changes recently. And then that happened today. And I was like, strange weekend. Lots of reports of people having strange dreams again. Lots of reports of weird and bizarre fuckery, like people's own responses. Okay, Dawn, you just said you can't sleep at night. My kids, for 3 nights, have not been able to sleep. I literally just gave all my kids melatonin. It is 11:15. And my youngest daughter just came up, who's like 11 and a half. And was like, Mom, I can't sleep. And I was like, okay, I'll get you a melatonin. They haven't been sleeping. When I did the show on Saturday, when I did the big, the Hillary question symposium, it was 2:30 in the morning before we finished that. Now, after I do a show, I always tend to be a little, you're energized, right? So you're not ready for bed right away. I finally went to bed around 2:45, 3 o'clock, laid in bed for half an hour, got up, came out, went on Facebook, played around the UnFuckers room for a bit, chatting with people. At about 3:45, I finally took a melatonin myself. I was like, okay, you have to go to sleep. Like, seriously, it's like almost 4 o'clock in the morning. You have to go to sleep. And I don't think I got to sleep until the sun rose. Well, I'm not that close to CERN. Not that close to CERN. Yeah, so I was kind of going down the rabbit hole just before we got going here tonight. And I was like, the whole Second World War thing changes. And it feels to me, and guys, jump in here. I'd like to get your opinion. It feels to me kind of like there's almost this, the changes that we're seeing are kind of empowering the Access guys, the Axis and the Allies and the Axis. So, you know, that your German, Japanese, etc. Like the changes are kind of like, oh, the Japanese did all these things. And they bombed here and they bombed there. And then this whole thing about basically Germany running U-boats. Like fucking, they had U-boats apparently blowing up shit in the mouth of the Mississippi and off the coast of Texas. Because, yeah, the Germans, they were just flitting around the fucking Caribbean during World War II. Oh. If you're still there, darling, Judy, they're also saying, and I don't know, because like I don't know Australian history, they're now saying that there were German boats firing on Australia during World War II. Now, I don't know about you, but it seems to me that the Germans were rather busy during World War II, and I find it very hard to believe that they managed to get like 6 or 7 battleships all the way to Australia to fire off the coast of Australia during World War II. Yeah. So anyways, as I was saying, I have this, it's almost like these changes are making Germany, or the bad guys, out to be even bigger than they were, like bigger and more powerful. Like we always kind of see in the history books, history is written by the victor, so they always kind of downplay the bad guy, or who they, you know, the bad guy and whoever on which side of the story you're on, right? They downplay that. It's always kind of, because you got to make the victors look like the big strong ones, right? But it seems like these changes are making it like they were more powerful than what we've been led to believe. I.e. this whole thing, like I said, if like ships off of Australia, they were in the Caribbean, they were going up and down the coast, they took out 700, Canadian merchant marine vessels who were trying to get supplies over to England. And then I was like, oh, Operation Paperclip. All those Nazi scientists that were brought over to the States. And then I thought about CERN, and I was like, oh, what are the odds? You know, what if some of these Nazi paperclip guys are the guys that started CERN? And is this kind of like, hypothetically, follow me on this, just hypothetically. So let's say Operation Paperclip. These guys who we know that Germany was so far advanced of everyone else in the world when it comes to the sciences, the esoteric shit. Like they were getting seriously into a lot of the heavy duty esoteric kind of stuff. So they grab all the Nazi scientists, they drag them all over to the States, where, you know, they meet up with, you know, Prescott Bush, because, you know, he wasn't a Nazi at all. And they get pulled into the whole society, and you end up with all these, the Manhattan Project, and you end up Philadelphia Project, God knows. But you have CERN. CERN got started a lot earlier. CERN, the name, the idea, than what most people realize. And I can't remember what the exact year it is that CERN was first made operational, but I think it was like in the 50s, like 56, 59, somewhere around there. So what if? So I just go Googling, as I do. Just let's take a little look around. And I came up and I dropped it in the Unfuckers, a link to a Farrell article from Giza Death Star. I'm going to see if I can pull this up because he had a couple of interesting things to say. Now, it's actually an article that goes with an interview that he did back in, I think, February. So, yeah, I'll pull up the screen share and I'll show you guys this. Because this was kind of fucking interesting. No. What the hell? Just there we go. Okay. Let me move this out of the way. You can go over there somewhere. So, CERN dangers revealed, Project Paperclip, Nazis and Cosmology Cartel. Dr. Joseph Farrell, right? So he talks about this. He basically talks about the fact of, you know, the whole peaceful scientific hadron collider ain't all that peaceful, and that's not what they're doing. And he talks about basic stuff that we already know about CERN, it affects the magnetosphere, they want to try and open gateways, yada, yada, whatever. Now, what was interesting, though, is going off of what I'd been thinking, he brings up dark journalist, Dr. Farrell investigated the history of CERN and demonstrated clear links of a post-war Nazi international through the figure of John J. McCloy, lawyer for the notorious German corporate conglomerate IG Farben. McCloy was also the chairman of the Council on Foreign Relations and became the American High Commissioner for post-World War II Germany. In a controversial action, McCloy helped clear and vet over 70,000 Nazis, helping to utilize their intelligence networks to set up the CIA, i.e. Operation Paperclip. One of the major figures that he cleared was a top Nazi legal theorist and prisoner of war, Dr. Walter Hallstein, who was eventually responsible for helping to set up CERN. He was also a key architect for developing of the Nazi plan for the European Federation that was eventually become the European Union. McCloy, in a strange twist, also served on the Warren Commission to whitewash any deep state connections to the JFK assassination. I mean, really? It's almost like you're watching a movie. Really, the way this stuff reads is just like you're reading a screenplay of a movie, and possibly not even a very good movie, truth be told. So basically, this is an article, it's an interview with Joseph Farrell. So I posted this link in Unfuckers, and when we get around to actually posting this, if I post this, I'll post the link to it because I want to hear this. I want to hear what he has to say because it just seems a little too coincidental that I'm starting to think of Project Paperclip CERN, Nazi involvement, and how the Nazis seem to be all powerful all over the world, everywhere. Yeah. Considering some of the conversations we've had, about the Nazis and the questions that we've had about the whole Nazi regime and who they ended up being in the end, i.e. they were the Zionists in the end, or at least controlled by, that whole Nazi New World Order, but not Nazi, Zionist New World Order. Is that what these changes are? Like, is that what these changes are? That they're reinvigorating, reinventing the timeline, empowering, if you will, the Nazis. It's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I'm telling you, like these changes that we've seen now, yeah, Don just said downloading a new script. That's exactly it. It's like they're downloading a new fucking script. No, not a script, like a whole screenplay. Like, cue stage left, enter fucking Nazi U-boats off the coast of Brazil. Yeah, they apparently bombed boats in Brazil too. Well, is this leading? Yeah, Violet just said, yeah, leading to the new Mandela effect, or I would call this one definitely the Toto effect, that the Nazis won the war. Yeah, no, Connie just said that all the World War II people are dead, so we can't question them. Well, here's the thing. Nick and I had this conversation earlier tonight. My grandpa was in World War II. He was a British tank commander, and he was one of the main trainers in England for the tank commanders. And I've sat and watched World War II movies, and my grandpa was the first one to tell you, that ain't the way it happened. That's not what happened. That's not how this played out. That's not why they did that. He was really big on that, which is one of the reasons why I know none of this fucking shit happened, at least in my personal reality, because I would have watched the movie. I would have read it. My grandfather would have talked about it. This is the kind of conversations I grew up with in my house, right? So, I don't know. Very strange. And the chat room's going off. You guys are going so fast I can't even hear. Hold on, let me see if I can just raise this up. I'm telling you. No, both sides are the same. That's exactly it, Lotus. The powers that be are pretending to war. Both sides are the same. But there's more to it than that. And that's the thing is, we have this, it's almost like we're watching multiple realities play out. And on one level, the one reality is the reality that we see around us. So what the mainstream media puts in front of us. So we've got war in Syria, we've got these fucking ridiculous elections, we've got the Russian stuff, we have China and their South Sea Islands, we've got the Philippines calling Obama dickhead or whatever it was that they called. So we have that reality in front of us, which, as you say, by perception, it looks like different groups fighting for power, different groups who are trying to be, king of the hill. When we know, in fact, that it's not it. They're all on the same fucking side. They all work for the same bosses, so to speak. But then there's this other reality where we are looking at the Toto effects, roll out, roll out, roll out. And it's like change, flip, change, flip, change, flip. And I'm saying, there's the small little ones. I just don't give a shit about the small little ones. The name of Febreze or what was the new one? Bridget Jones's Diary now has an apostrophe S on Jones's. This isn't even grammatically correct. Those aren't important, but it's when we see the massive changes in history. these have got such a radical, far-reaching. No, so someone's unmuted. Who's that? We've got someone unmuted, I think. Maybe not. And I can't get everyone sorted out here. I'm having an issue. Hold on. So, yeah. We have the perceived reality. Oh, it even goes into deeper than that, because of course you've got the sleeping people's reality of NFL football, TV shows, bullshit, and that's all they get. Then we've got the multiple layers of the awake reality of people who are, see what's going on in Syria, and then people who see even through that and see the fact that the groups are all on the same team. But the flipping reality, that's the one that gets to me. And when I try to, where are these going to? And we've seen so many little changes now on the Second World War. And they've started before, there's been a few of them that have been going, for a couple, like I said, with a bunch that we discovered in spring of 2015. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's exactly my question. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Maybe the Antarctic Nazis have finally achieved a certain point to manipulate the changes. Well, and that's why I'm questioning the whole CERN thing. Just from the fact that it looks like we do have a direct line, some kind of a direct line connection with the CERN, i.e., and the Nazis, i.e., and the whole Project Paperclips, blah, blah, blah. Pardon me. Connie, I don't think so. Connie just said, is the changes for us to get us to go to World War III? I don't think so. I think there is an objective that they have. I'm going to give it the quintessential they. There is an objective that they must have. And I don't think it's as simplistic as getting us to go into World War III or even winning World War III. I think it is foundationally bigger than that. What is it they're trying to get to? By manipulating the past, let's hypothesize that, if we hypothesize that they are manipulating the past, timelines, dimensions, whatever you want to call it, what is the objective they're trying to achieve? Because we've seen, and now one of the things that we've seen in the Mandela effects, i.e., and I'm going with Dr. Blair's translation, or definition of the Toto Effect versus the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect being changes to movie quotes and changes to how you spell Febreze or brand names or whatever like that. We've seen some of those smaller Mandela effects flip back. They flip to one, and then all of a sudden they flip back, or they flip to one, and then they flip again to something else. Which, if it is a manipulated thing, something that's from an outside source that is manipulating something, it's like an adjustment. They're adjusting the dial, right? It's almost like when you have the radio and you're just trying to get that radio station and you're kind of fiddling around. Is that what they're doing? Are they trying to zone in on a specific outcome that they need to achieve? I don't know. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to go back in here because you guys are going off and I can't even keep up on what everyone's saying. It's like, I can't even keep up with you. Maybe related to what Flamenco investigated with the chronology to justify certain things. Okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, that's really interesting because that's where I looked at. Because one of the very first changes that I spotted was in around May of 2015. It was a major, and it was mainstream media news, argument from the foreign minister of Japan and the foreign minister of Russia over who owned certain Kuril Islands. And I'm like, yeah, Russia does. Of course they do. They've got fucking treaties dated from the 1800s when Japan gave them to Russia. But the Japanese guy was like, no, you don't own those. They're fucking ours. You invaded. Russia was like, we didn't fucking invade. They're our islands. And Japan was like, no, you guys invaded during the end of Second World War. You took advantage of us and you invaded. And at the time, I thought it was political posturing. I thought it was like political, typical fucking lie, bullshit type stuff. Now I'm like, no, I think this was the beginning of some of these, what we're going to see is shifting Mandela effects. Things that we heard out of the Ukraine. Peter Poroshenko made ridiculous statements in 2015 on V-Day about who liberated what cities and when. And Russia was like, yeah, I don't think so. That was the Red Army that did that, not whoever it was that they were trying to say it was. And he made himself look like an idiot. But at the same time, wouldn't these guys deliberately make themselves look like an idiot about a piece of history that's so well documented? Or did he actually believe it? Because in his reality, that's what it was. I know, this is the whole thing. The questions, I'm telling you, right now, I'm really going right back into this whole, going back and trying to question the basics, like the who, what, where, why, when. You know, like I was like, you go through the whole thing where you look at CERN, oh, CERN's doing all this, and then I was like, fuck, CERN's not doing this. What's happening is far more powerful than anything CERN could, scientists or even earthly scientists, so to speak, could do. But now I'm kind of going back again, going, I don't know, is that what we're fucking seeing? Time isn't linear. We perceive it as linear, but time isn't linear. And if you have the ability to jump through the pages of the book, to jump through the pages of the various dimensions or whatever you want to call them, is that what we're seeing play out? Because yeah, and that's exactly what Sony just said. Time is a hologram. Yeah, and then it comes back to that. We go right back into the whole, if it's a simulated matrix reality anyway, then it seems to me that doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because that's not what I mean. I don't mean it doesn't matter. But if it's a matter of going into the game pack, using the whole video game analogy, that they can just go into the game pack and change the program, and some of the players get the memo and some of the players didn't get the upgrade, so therefore they see the glitches. Like, it's like if you got the upgrade, you don't see the glitches because your program's been upgraded into it. But if you didn't get the upgrade, you know, I don't know, you missed, you kept telling that, no, not upgrade tomorrow. Yeah, update tomorrow. And for some reason you didn't get that update. And so now you can see those glitches because you know that's not the way it was. Yeah, the black cat walking past Neo twice in the stairwell, symptoms of a change in the matrix. This is the thing. I keep coming back to that one as well. Of like, that deja vu feeling of like, sometimes you just feel like, we've been through this before, we've been through this before, we've been through this before. The glitch in the matrix. Just weird shit going on. Like, for example, clouds. And I wish I've taken about, you saw the video and I put it with last week's show of our thunderstorm, the bizarre lightning storm that we had. We have had so many weird cloud formations, and over this weekend, I literally just had one of the kids' tablets sitting outside with me, and I would just go, click. There's another one. You know, there's the famous pictures of like Mount Shasta, and there's like a big cloud that looks like a perfect like spaceship dome above it. We had one of those just right over the Med. And I was like, oh, look, like in the middle of all the big puffy white clouds, there's like a big spaceship dome. And it's literally right in the middle of the, it doesn't make any sense how you can have a completely different kind of cloud, different shaped cloud in the middle of a pile of another clouds. Oh, unless there's a glitch in the matrix. And somehow the cloud sky program got all fucking, you know. Okay, Violet, that is a fucking good question. Okay, I gotta see if I can hold this so I don't lose a question. Hold on. That was a really fucking good question because that opens up some of the stuff that we couldn't get to on the Hillary question symposium this weekend. Violet just wrote, what if Hillary in this timeline died? And the one we're seeing tonight, etc., is from another timeline, not necessarily a clone. Because we've had the conversation. Oh, you know what? I'm going to run that one by Randy Mawkins. I bet he's going to find that kind of interesting. We've had the conversation. We've had the conversation a year ago about people who've had experiences. Now, like I said, Lisa and I, friend of ours, very, very sick, very bad heart, really bad, to the point where he was sleeping sitting up because he couldn't breathe properly. He was, sounds pretty much dying. And he used to go for a little walk every day. And then the one day, the one empty lot at the end of his street where he used to always sit and look at nature and watch, he walks out and that house is, sorry, that empty lot has now got a house on it. And obviously an older house, not like a brand new house, just was built overnight. Like it's obviously a old house. And the next day, all his health problems were gone. And his hypothesis then was that he jumped timelines and that him in that timeline died. And that he jumped into this other timeline. And the him in that timeline wasn't sick. But in that timeline, there was a house in an empty lot. So what if Hillary? That's interesting. Because some of the things that we see with this Hillary. Okay, so this is something I was, again, going to bring up on Saturday's symposium. I just couldn't get to it. There was a report that came out in December of 2012 that she had been in a helicopter crash and that she had been seriously injured. Now, the WikiLeaks put out that information again, but the article they're quoting is an EU Times article that is quoting source or fail. So right off the hop, you go, okay, source or fail, disinformation. Except, like I say, we also know that source or fail puts out very, very important information as well. Always. You just got to be able to sift through all the bullshit to find the nuggets of real intel, right? And I went looking at the time, I went looking all over the place, and I did a huge amount of research because then we had Hillary Clinton comes back from the Middle East, and then she gets sick. And if you remember, she was sick. Oh, she's sick. And then she came back to the White House, back to work, and it was like, and she passed out at work, and she banged her head and gave herself a concussion, and then she was off for like another 2 weeks. And I took pictures of Hillary Clinton in November, December. Like I took all these screenshots of Hillary Clinton, November, December, pre, and then put them up side by side with the Hillary Clinton that they were showing, you know, and they're a whole, welcome back to the State Department. And it was not the same woman. Like, I mean, seriously, it was not the same woman. Kind of like the stuff that we talked about on Saturday. I mean, there were radical differences. So what if she did die? What if she died in the Middle East? Now, I had a Pentagon source at the time who swore up, no, she's dead. She's gone. She was killed. Her helicopter was shot down. She's dead. And he said, I said, oh, they're going to use a clone. And he was like, they don't have clones anymore. They'll use a body double. Okay, but what if maybe they use a body double for the emergency interim stuff? Like, oh, quick, grab that double who, kind of like the movie Dave, car salesman who just happens to look like the president. They grab him in an emergency. So they bring in a body double while they work on something to get a Hillary from one of the other timelines. It may be the Hillary that the August, as Blair called her during the symposium, the August 2016 Hillary, who looks like fucking ass, who is aged horrifically. She looks like, I'm sorry, she's 68. I know a lot of 68-year-old women who look fantastic. And if the woman is as wealthy as she is, she's got the money for good skin care, plastic surgery, the whole bit. There's no reason for her to look that horrifically scary. Unless, of course, what is the one thing we do see? You see that look on drug addicts, hardcore drug users, and hardcore alcoholics have that really aged look, and there's nothing you can do about that. So what if it's the Hillary they grabbed from another timeline just happened to be, I don't know, like a meth head, fucking 4-liter a day vodka drinker? I don't know. And what if that one's gone now? Maybe she did die. And now they've got to drag another one over from another timeline to keep filling them in. I don't know. It's a good question, though. I kind of like that question. Very, very good question. Vampires, yeah, parasites, yeah. Well, here's the thing, a mole, it doesn't a mole. If it's a body double, they can put a mole there. It's very, very fucking easy to do. If it's an actual Hillary Clinton from another timeline, and Lisa, you just scared the shit out of me when you popped in like that. It's like, ah!
Is this something? Can you start over?
First of all, you just deafened me. And no, we're not going to start over.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so. My alarms did not go off, or it did go off and I slept through it. I don't know. I had a topsy-turvy little phoenix next to me all night.
Nah.
That meant I got no sleep.
It's okay.
Oh.
Okay, well, I'll just bring you up to date really, really fast. They've changed World War II again.
Yeah, so?
The Germans had U-boats all the way up and down the coast, the East Coast. They were bombing ships all over the place in the United States. In New York, they were blowing up ships in New York. They were blowing up ships. They had U-boats, Nazi submarines in Canada who went right up the St Lawrence Seaway to like almost Quebec City, and were blowing up ships there. They had Nazi boats in the Caribbean, off the coast of Texas and Mississippi River. They were going up the Mississippi River. And, it gets better, because apparently the Germans had boats in Australia too, and they were firing on Australian ships. Now, I don't know how the fuck the Germans got their boats all the way over to fucking Australia, because they thought that they would have been a little bit busy with the other shit going on during World War II. But apparently German boats were firing on ships in northern Australia. I mean, along with the Japanese and everything. Oh, and they were also firing on boats in Brazil. And Japan flew an airplane somehow from Japan all the way over and dropped 2 80-kiloton something bombs in Oregon.
Okay.
Ta-da!
What?
Do you have coffee?
It's not apparently not strong enough for this. What?
That was my rabbit hole today, baby. If you go into UnFuckers, when we're finished the show, go into UnFuckers, you will see that I lost my fucking shit. I seriously pulled my hair out. That was only about 4 hours ago.
So what is it? Where is this information? Is it now in the official school? Like this, at school now, or what?
I've cross-verified from I go to Wikipedia first, because it's just an easy place to go to the one-stop shop. But I've been to like various history ones. I've been all over the place. American history, the American World War II official website.
Hang on. A meteor supposedly fell in the Coral Sea. Peeps thought it was an earthquake in Australia. Man,
didn't
you
see
sleep in for half an hour and yes.
Yes, it
What?
was. The whole world changed while you were snoozing. I'm sorry, chick.
What? Seriously, a media? Did I miss media as well? That's just too much.
I didn't. No, that one's new to me. I haven't read that one. Yeah. Extreme fuck-uppery, darling. Extreme fuck-uppery.
Dee and I used to get up every morning and look, and one of us would say to the other one, "So did the world change while I was sleeping?" Because we were on, being on opposite sides.
Yep.
It was sort of like the common, a standard running joke.
Yeah. But
apparently it did while I slept, while you were sleeping.
While you were sleeping, the whole Second World War is apparently, like, I don't know. We just had a huge conversation about the fact of apparently the Germans were superhuman. And they had the biggest, baddest Navy air fleet in the world because they were down in Brazil, they were down in Argentina, they were in the Caribbean. The German boats were all up the Eastern Seaboard. They were going all through Canada. In Australia.
Even in the previous version, they did get down to Argentina, did they not? And then down to the South Pole.
Well,
not in the
middle of the war, and certainly not by anything that's accepted by mainstream media. That was never like a mainstream media thing, right? No, the other thing is we caught a real good one though, because you remember when we talked about the balloon bombings by Japan. So it was like a month and a half ago. Japan floated balloons across the Pacific and dropped balloon bombs in the States, and the only one that actually hit and detonated was in Oregon. Now we went into this, and I went researching because they were saying they bombed Canada this way too, and I was like, no fucking way, Japan did not bomb Canada.
Okay, I'm going to go out again and come back in again because I must be still asleep.
No, it gets better because
stupid dream.
Like I said, because I researched that really heavily when we found that little factoid out. Except that now the story's changed. Now it's saying that 2 aircraft flew and dropped 2 bombs in Oregon.
Okay, so what does this mean though? I mean, when we looked before at patterns with the changes.
Well, that's right? What you just missed. You just missed my whole monologuing for an hour about what.
Okay, well, give me the
version. Yes, okay. Project Paperclip, Second World War. They all come over to the States. I've just done a track down with an article. I've just posted the article. It's a Joseph Farrell interview from February of this year. It ties in Project Paperclip and CERN and the Nazis and the whole bit. So I got to listen to it. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet because I just found it like an hour ago. So my hypothesis is, okay, the Nazis, i.e. the Nazis, were the Zionists. So they lost the war, yet they didn't lose the war because they just went over to the States and spread themselves out throughout everything. And what we talked about months ago, about the Nazis coming back. It's not the Nazis coming back, it's the Zionists coming back. And I'm wondering if these changes that we're seeing...
that's not gelling with me at all.
Well, hold on. Okay, well, hold on. Because the changes that we're seeing are making out the Nazis to sound way bigger, way badder. Like, oh, God, we won the Second World War, but almost by the skin of our teeth. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Hail Hydra, right?
Hail Hydra, exactly.
Hang on. The good team that the guys thought they were working for, but it turned out they were all Hydra.
Shield,
right? Yeah. So looking at all the other research we did around Nazis, World War II, Hitler and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what if Nazis or Hitler and his intentions and his crew is SHIELD, but it was so infiltrated with Hydra being the Zionists.
And that's what I mean. But that's what I mean.
When we talk about, no, Hydra never left.
Yeah, I know.
Hydra have always been, they're everywhere, right?
Uh-huh.
But I still think that if there's a coming back, it may be that original crew intent.
Here's the
thing. Shield may come back.
It just seems
Hydra never went away.
No, of course not. It just went into deeper hiding, right? And built its power base up. But here's the thing. Like I said, the changes that we saw, and this set of changes, where now you have German military are fucking all over the world. I mean, they're off the coast of Australia. They're all over Canada. They're all over the eastern seaboard of the States, in the Caribbean, down South America. Mainstream.
If they were kicking so much ass, how did they suddenly lose?
Exactly. But it kind of builds almost like what's the next change going to be? And someone said it. Is the next one of the big changes going to be that they won? Is that what the lead up is to? Change, shift, change, shift, change, shift. It's just too fucking weird.
Okay, so last night, I'm changing subjects a bit. But actually completely. For a second. Before I went to sleep, and I actually had my alarm set for like 5:45 this morning so I could get up and put it all together for everything. Sorry. There's a couple of YouTubes that I found about the moon. In terms of the moon's position when certain things go down.
Okay.
And this woman's been tracking this for quite some time, and she believes that everything, it's all moon rituals. Looking at where the moon was on 9/11, it was pretty much in exactly the same place the other day on the 23rd. And there's something leading up to the 26th. And then there's something again on the beginning of October. And then there's another completely different, completely unrelated series of videos by a guy who's put together dates based on biblical stuff.
I've already debunked that one. The Daniel, the book of Daniel stuff and the 1300 days and the such and such and such. Yeah. I actually had a conversation. I had a conversation. I called in Randy Moggins because Randy's like me. He knows the Bible, and I know the book of Daniel quite well. And I was like, Randy, take a look at this because this just does not. And he was like, no, this is one of these fundamentalist groups who believes in the rapture, who twists and turns these dates around. Those dates, the book of Daniel is about the fall of Jerusalem. In 70 AD, when Rome sacked Jerusalem.
Yeah, but
I know, but this we've seen them do that twisting, and the book of Daniel is easy because it talks about date.
What did he twist?
One of them, it says the Daniel prophesies about it'll be 74 days, and then it'll be 62 days, and it'll be some. And this guy's adding it in years. So he takes it as years, and then he adds it as years. But then he starts talking days again to 1,300 and some odd days, and the guy adds the 13 some odd days. And comes up.
Okay, it doesn't have a consistent formula throughout.
No. And it's kind of typical, like we've seen every time there's like the rapture thing is coming up, someone comes up with the book of Daniel and they have a new mathematical equation that they've worked out from the book, because Daniel's an easy one to play with because it always talks about all these dates and years and calends and all the rest of it. So
someone said the rapture is the harvest agenda. I mean, that's what I saw when I watched Jupiter Ascending, their harvest. It's like, yeah, that's the rapture.
Pretty much in a nutshell. Hold on, I'll be right back. I got to go get a bottle of water. I'll be right back. You talk for a little while now.
No, I can have to do this on my own yet. I'm just going to say hi to everybody. Hi. Hi. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Lotus. Hi, Connie. Hi, Stacey. Hi, Pauline. It's like romper room. Hi, Chris. Hi, Britt. Oh, sorry. I did this morning. I really did have some things I wanted to go over, but I didn't get a chance to pull them all together. So do you guys, what are your thoughts on this change in regards to these World War II changes? What do you think they're trying to get to? Have you had your coffee yet? I'm trying. Paint shield as the bad guys. Well, you guys have probably already gone over Hillary too, I would imagine. Yeah. Okay, when you went over Hillary, you put your ears back in.
I'm back.
When you went over the Hillary stuff,
Yeah.
and I haven't had a chance to watch your spectrum on it yet. But the thing that's been bothering me, and you probably covered it already, either then or this morning, but the stuff that we're seeing of her publicly, you know, the glitches, the fallovers, the shuffles into vans, all of that, to me it's very deliberate. We're seeing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And question is why, right? Now, I don't think it's because she's sick. She may already be dead for all we know, but it's almost as if she's not their favourite toy anymore, right? She's been promised the gig. She refuses to not have the gig, perhaps. It's almost as if she's at war with the cabal herself. Like she's actually playing a game with them as well. Whether she's the one behind putting this stuff out or they are, there's something that tells me that she's not playing their game anymore. If the Clinton Foundation has a gun to everybody's head and has info and documents and blackmailable material on pretty much everybody, which it sounds like they do.
Yeah.
She's in a position to pull a lot of strings. She's in a position to play a lot of people.
Yeah.
It could just be a money grab. It could be something else. I feel like it's something else.
Well, this is what we tried. We couldn't quite get into it. We literally went for 2.5 hours Saturday night, and it got to the point like, we just can't cover it. And I started off the show saying there's no possible way to cover all the material on this topic in one night, let alone 2 hours. So, a couple of things, though. The one thing that I brought up with Randy afterwards, because I didn't get a chance to get into, there was a bunch of shit that I wanted to get into specifically with Randy on the symposium. One was the fact of we're watching transparency play itself out, and we're watching these people break down, like literally breaking down. And is it a case of frequency? Like if these guys are so dark and so, there's a horrible background noise. I'm trying to figure. Oh, hold on.
Oh, are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
How?
Because I came in as you, I made Jeff host, then I left, and I came back as me, and then I had Jeff make me host, and now I'm recording.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
There was even a little bit of fun with that one too, because we couldn't find you, and yet it wasn't allowing me to be host, even though I was.
Oh, really?
It was a little strange for a few minutes there. Okay, hold on. Teresa is unmuted. Hold on, guys, because I can hear someone is unmuted. I've got this. Oh my God, my fucking scroll bar is just insane at the moment. No, I don't know.
I can't do anything because I'm not anything.
You're not anything. You don't get to be nothing. You're just sitting there. Just sitting there. Anyways, energetically, we're seeing these things being transparent. We're seeing all this shit kind of just making itself seen. And people breaking down, as we've discussed, we're seeing people completely lose their shit. So, is that what we're seeing? Is that part of it? Is that, they're trying to keep put her back up there, and she's just like. I don't think so. Well, the other thing I said was, because we talked about the whole thing about. Okay, Gina says the sound's coming on when I'm talking. Okay, I'm gonna try taking out my headset. Hold on. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Is it clear enough? Is it clearer? No, because actually I can hear that sound still. Oh, okay. Maybe it is. And I can't raise my volume to be able to hear. Seriously?
Should I mute myself and see if that helps?
No, it's my computer's being a fucktard. That's all. We talked about the whole body doubles. We talked about things, of course you get into things like, is she a clone? Is the clone falling apart? Blah, 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 blah. Which I don't believe she's a clone. I actually don't think they've been able to make clones for quite a while now. I don't remember who it was in the chat, just brought up before you came in an interesting question. What if they're Hillary's from another timeline? And again, told the story about the friend of ours who had the really bad heart in the whole house. And then the house appears, and the next thing you know, he's perfectly healthy, and he believes that he drew to a new timeline. So what if that Hillary did die in 2012? Because we saw a distinct change when she came back to the State Department in January 2013. Physically, I mean, there was huge changes. And you look at Hillary of August 2016, she looks terrible. I mean, wizened, wrinkled, and I was joking saying, like, you got that kind of money? You got the money to afford good skincare. You able to afford plastic surgery, a little Botox maybe. But what if she's the one that another one that they've had to bring over, and in that universe, she was like a raging alcoholic and a drug addict? Because that's what she looks like. Like, if you look at Hillary, that face is the face you see on really hard drinking women, like 40 ounces a day type thing. So is it
that double that came out in the blue suit after the collapse doesn't even look like Hillary?
No. And that's what I said, because the double that they brought out in January of 2013 didn't look like Hillary either. So I imagine if they have to try and bring a Hillary over from another timeline, it takes a little bit of prep time. So you got to have a couple of doubles that you can just kind of throw into the public to make it look all smooth. I don't know. All I'm saying is there's a whole lot of questions. And we talked a little bit about the whole off camera. And we're going to do The Fall of the Empire Revisited with Roger and Randy and I. To repeat the one that we did, or revisit the one we did in 2015. And we're going to get into, what does it mean when you have Donald Trump, who is just a fucking actor, who, came out today in the news, Lisa. Donald Trump just visited with Netanyahu and agreed that he would put Jerusalem as the Israel capital city. So I was like, there you go. There's your big buyout right there. So Donald Trump, the actor, just pushing the Republican fucking rhetoric as he does, and Hillary Clinton, who is so corrupt, who's falling apart. It's almost as if the powers behind, you know, the real puppet controllers don't give a shit, because they all know it's not going to matter, i.e. what's going to happen before the election that makes Hillary and Donald a moot point.
Irrelevant completely.
It makes them completely irrelevant, because I just cannot see, how any serious person could possibly think that these two are two serious candidates. The shit that we covered on the corruption aspect of Hillary is so damning. I mean, we're talking, I played a video clip and Roger and I thoroughly dissected it out of Congress with the emails where the head of national intelligence tells the head of Congress that he doesn't have the security clearance high enough to even know what security agency is holding the emails. Because they're that level of top secret that even the head of national security had to be read in to be given a higher clearance just to read the fucking emails. Like, just to read her fucking emails, the head of national security had to be read in his office, had to be sworn in and read in to get. And this was a live, it was put out, it was on C-SPAN. It's right there, the videos are all over YouTube. So by that alone, how can she possibly be a serious contender? Just that one thing, just that one little thing that she lied.
Presidential candidates are terrified about some extramarital affair coming to light, let alone this shit.
Exactly. Gone are the good old days when you're worried where, you know, the JFK was diddling with Marilyn Monroe off to the side. Oh, God forbid the public finds out about that. So Randy's of the opinion we're about to see an October surprise. And he says that when this happens, he won't talk about it yet. He won't talk about it yet. But I'm going to nail him down to the floor. We're going to discuss it. And
you won't talk about in what form?
Huh?
You won't talk about in what form? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, he's not really talking about no specifics yet.
Oh, I think
he knows there's an October surprise coming, and it's going to make all of this moot.
What date is the election set for?
Is it November 17th, November 16th, November 12th? November 15th, the one date I didn't pick. Ha, ha, ha.
There was something that I thought of too, in amongst all of that. Damn it, it's gone. I think I need more coffee.
Ha ha. I have to admit, I'm going to a half a cup, so, and mine's cold, so.
I do. I need more coffee. I'll be with you in a moment.
Okay, go make coffee. So I don't know, like I said, so my gut's been telling me for a while that something big is coming. So when Randy started talking about October surprise, I was like, oh yeah, no, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised with an October surprise. What is it? I don't know. What will they pull off? What will they pull off? What will they try to pull off that would make the elections irrelevant? Well, it would have to be something huge. I.e. Jeff Gates, everyone on the planet gets a new car. Yay, we all get a new car, no elections. Yeah, I mean, look at, we've got the stuff going on in Europe right now. Deutsche just lost another 6 points. Deutsche Bank just lost another 6 points on Friday. And it took a shitload of the European banks down with it. It wasn't just like one, there was like contagion. It was like everything. Commerzbank, all over Europe, banks just on Friday. it's because there's nothing left, right? Like, I mean, so I wonder, like, how big does it have to be to make it so the American public don't riot at the idea of them meddling with the elections? Alien invasion? A massive third world war? Do they have to like start something? Because we've got, it's in, like right now, what we're seeing right now in Syria, Shed. I just dropped in the a couple hours ago in the UnFuckers room. It is an interview on the street in New York with the Syrian ambassador to the United Nations. Only about 3-4 minutes long. Everyone on this planet needs to watch this video because the shit he says is like.
Have you got a link to put in the chat room here?
Hold on, let me see. I may have the video still open. It is in the UnFuckers. I don't have it open right now, but if someone can go into UnFuckers and grab it, I just posted it like literally just a little while ago.
Oh, is there a debate on?
Pardon me.
Is there a debate on? And is Hillary there?
Oh yeah, it's the first big debate with Hillary and Trump. Oh, this could be. Jill Stein has been completely blackballed. She's not even allowed to be there, which is hysterical. But yeah, it's a massive debate tonight. If it wasn't for the fact that it's going to be like, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning for me, I would actually stay up and watch this one.
Is Bernie there? Because he's still officially running, isn't he?
No. He didn't get the Democratic nomination. He didn't go independent, which is the telling point. It's what I said. If he was really serious about the presidency, he would have dropped out of the Democratic elections and would have gone out of the Democratic Party, and he would have run independent because he won his seat as an independent. So he would have run as an independent. He's not running, which means it was all.
Remember when he was endorsing Hillary and then the crowd were losing their shit, and his wife said to him, they're all upset because they don't know that you're still running. Something to that effect.
Doesn't matter. He's not running. If he's running, there's been not a word said. His name has not even been fucking mentioned in weeks. Yeah, Jill Stein will be in the audience, and she can't participate. One of my friends is going to be there, going to give me a report of what's going on. She's actually going to be at the debate, so I'll hear all about it.
Oh,
I got
this could be
on the ground.
He hasn't been able to be in public and get through a public thing without a glitch, a hiccup, a collapse, or anything
Since August.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if he gets through it and what she looks like.
Well, this is the thing. The one that I was talking to Blair about it and said, you look at all their major glitches for the last 2 months, like say since July. Then you look at the September 11th collapse, car, arrest, died. I fucking insert whatever reality you think happened in there. And after that, every big public one, i.e. when she did the Gainsborough, when she did, was it Orlando? They were the double. Or the one was obviously CGI. It wasn't even fucking there. It was obviously all, there's a special term, not green screen, Rhoda something or other, whatever. I'm not a techie. Then there was she did Jimmy Fallon show. Oh, it was recorded in August. And then she did that Between the Ferns with that idiot. Fuck, whatever. That was also pre-recorded, but we couldn't find out when. So technically, old Hillary, I don't know that we've actually seen her since September 11th.
No, it doesn't look like it.
So it's good. Are they going to try and put one of the doubles up there? Are they going to try and green screen it? And if they do here's the thing. So if she's up on the stage and they somehow do some kind of weird green screen type thing, we're all going to know. Because there will be another glitch again. And then everyone's going to know that everyone there, i.e. fucking Trump, who'd be standing next to her, or not, obviously, would know. And they're not.
They can't do that off in front of a large.
It makes them all, yeah. Yeah, Trump says, where's Hillary? And it's all over. And if he doesn't say, where's Hillary? Then he's in on it. Fluoride. The answer to this, fluoride. fluoride.
Okay, so what is it happening like now in the States within hours?
No, it can't be yet because it's only 6 o'clock at night Eastern, so it probably doesn't start until 8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock.
So it's only a couple of hours.
So it's going to be on in like 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So you can tune in and watch it.
They should live stream it or something, right?
Oh, it'll be live streamed all over the planet. You guarantee it.
I have a little look-see. So, Jeff, if you know of any links where I could watch it a little bit live.
Jeff, our techie guy, please drop us figure out where Lisa in Australia can watch the American election bullshit. Because
if she gets through this, that would be interesting. I mean, no one obviously expects it to. I can't imagine.
And you just know that every single factivist, which is our new word, every single factivist is going to be recording that, and is will be digitally analyzing every fucking frame. And if it takes them 36 hours and they have to do it in shifts, they're going to analyze every fucking frame. And if she starts spitting little green marbles into fucking glasses or have her eyeballs rolling all over the place, you know that's going to be on, the videos will be out within like hours.
I didn't know you could do that.
What, that? Yeah.
That's funny.
That's my Hillary Clinton invitation. What are you talking about?
Thank you for the link. Okay, I'll go back through the chat later and have a look.
So I may want to send that to Lisa privately so that she doesn't have to go through the whole chat to find it.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, all right. My milk's about ready. I'll be right back.
Okay, go with your milk. Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what comes out on YouTube tomorrow. Like, people have got a green tea time. No, Melanie, don't say green tea time after I was just talking about Hillary spitting green slime. It's the wrong picture. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what gets pulled out. You just know it's going to be so dissected, and I can't wait to see what they're going to come up with. We haven't. Sony just asked, what is the consensus on the symposium for the October surprise? We are going to do the Fall of the Empire Revisited, which we did. The original one was with Randy Moggins, Roger Landry, Sue Rhodes, and I did in early September 2015. We will absolutely get that. We have to pull it together. Everyone is so fucking busy right now. Roger is running, I don't know, like 15 websites and like 12 radio shows a week, and it's something ridiculous like that. So, and Randy as well. So we will nail down a date. Hopefully by the end of this week, we will have a solid date that we will go on. They may switch it up so that Trump is a no-show. Anything's possible at this point. Trump will show up drunk. Yeah, I'll get up on the podium and his wig will fall off. Oh, let's all manifest. You want to all manifest? Trump's wig is going to fall off tonight. Yeah, come on. Manifest it, people. Manifest it. Boom. There goes the weasel off his head. Awesome. Because you got to have fun with this shit. Like, you know, manifesting world peace, that's one thing. But, I mean, you got to have a little bit of fun, too. So, like, let's manifest the weasel off his head. That's what I said. Oh, and Joseph, I just saw you go by in the chat room. I have to show you. Hold. Stay right there. Hold on.
Where'd she go?
Hold on. Look, Joseph. This is for you, darling. This is my present I got in the mail. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's an all written in reverse because I see a mirror image. It's the One People of Earth in Community Unity Lincoln Sync Tour.
I got one too.
Yeah, can you see the back?
Yep.
There we go. So there you go, Jess. I haven't had a chance to take a picture, but look, it's on film. And now I got to take it off because it's hot. It's hot here tonight. So there we go. So just for your input, I did a little collective imagination thing just now while you were gone. And our collective manifestation exercise tonight is we're going to make Donald Trump's toupee fall off.
Oh, of all the things that we can put our collective power to, that's just...
Yeah, but you know, like I just said, world peace is fun and all, but sometimes you got to really have fun. And if you're going to really have fun, you got to do something really crazy. So I say we all manifest. The weasel's going to pop off. Trump will pop his weasel. Oh, wait, that could mean a lot of different things. No, never mind.
I think it's that particular little do is a combination of plugs, comb overs, spray on hair, and
a whole lot of back combing.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of which, collective stuff, right?
Yes.
If everybody's, oh no, it's 8:30. I was going to introduce what I was going to introduce last week, but didn't get around to it. But I can leave that to the very end. So, was there anything else on your list though? Because I didn't get a chance, obviously.
Oh, yes. I haven't had a chance. I usually like to scroll back through last week's show before I do the show, even if I just kind of just skim through it just to remember the topics we hit. And of course I didn't do that and I can't remember. John just says for the next symposium, plan for 3 hours. I always plan for 3 hours. It was unfortunate that this time Roger had another show that he had to do at the 3 hour mark and he needed to have some time to get off the air, prep for the next show. So, but yeah, so it'll be a 3 hour presentation and Roger will complain about it and then still be shocked about the fact that it was, oh, it's over already. In Syria, okay, going back to what the Syrian ambassador just said. So you had, of course, the US are blowing up the Syrian army, killing 64 men, wounding 120 odd others. Then you had the UN aid convoy that was supposedly blown up, which the US immediately blamed on Russia and Syria. Now, the first bit was leaked out a few days after that, but I couldn't get any hard confirmation on it, was the fact that there's no mortar fire. There is no shells obviously been dropped. It wasn't bombed. It was burned out deliberately. And the UN ambassador to Syria announces the fact that they've investigated the whole scene. There is no mortar marks. There is no bombing marks. It is very obviously set up. Someone lined up the convoy, did the whole thing, and then set the whole thing on fire so that then they could blame Russia and Syria, right? Because, you know, that's how the US works. I'm sorry, but that's how these yahoos work. You got to try and point the finger at someone else. They've done it every single time. They did try to do it to Russia right after they bombed Doctors Without Borders the second time. Or was it the third time? Where they tried to blame Russia for bombing a hospital in some other place. And they're like, yeah, there's the hospital right there and it's still standing. So what are you talking about? One of the big announcements that came out this week, though, is that there was a meeting of imams, Sunni Shia imams, which is imams are like the high priests, if you will, of the Islamic religion, denouncing Wahhabism, radical Islam, denouncing the House of Saud. This is, oh yeah, this is a serious major piece. Of course, got no Western coverage whatsoever, of course. So you have, because up until, and I ran through this timeline, I sat down with Nick and was like, oh, fuck, they're really pushing this. Up until January 2015, all the mainstream rhetoric was, oh, it's a Sunni-Shia war. Always, it's the Sunnis against the Shias. And then you had the king die and the new king in Saudi Arabia. And immediately, within 21 days or something, they start bombing Yemen. And you have the whole oil thing. Everything starts going. And you see the radical change with the White House and Obama and the relationship, if you will, with Saudi Arabia. And it's led up to, they start whispering the word Wahhabism into the media, just dropping it here and there. But over the course of a year, it's gone from just dropping the word Wahhabism. And the very first time I saw it, it was like, oh my God, they actually said it. To then blaming Wahhabists, the Wahhabists who are building all these mosques all over Europe and paying for all these mosques that are creating all the radical Islamics. To now this, where the Sunni and Shia clerics have come together, which in and of itself is fucking amazing, denouncing Wahhabism in the House of Saud.
There is a theory. There is a theory, and I think there's something to this. You know, we've talked about how the Zionists hide behind the Jews and the Jewish religion.
Yep.
But the Zionists, the Cabal, or whatever you want to call them, at their core are actually Muslim. The Jewish religion is actually a front for them, but even that is a front for what is essentially Wahhabism. And that if you track the sun worship, the Baal worship, all of this stuff, it actually leads straight down to Allah. And yeah, I know. I'm following this up.
Because I've never heard that. I don't know how anyone could. Wahhabism wasn't invented until.
No, not necessarily invented. It's a. The word
as the belief structure, you mean? Take out the word Wahhabism and say that structure of belief. Got it. Okay.
You're just throwing labels on it.
Yeah.
You know. But there's something about the characters. Anyway, I'm looking into this one. But when you look at, there's some, I mean, even for the US to open it up to the 9/11 victims, to put Saudi up on to throw Saudi under the bus at this point?
Obama has overturned that. Obama just vetoed it now, which is, of course, then made it that much bigger, right? Because now it's like, oh, what was the article in Zero Hedge today? Obama puts business politics ahead of the poor people of 9/11 who no longer have the right to sue the people who caused it, type of thing. Yeah.
So how does he get the authority to just veto what?
I know. Isn't that just amazing how Obama has the authority to veto just whatever the fuck he wants?
Okay. Now, is the Pope... Oh.
Go ahead, jump.
Religious figurehead to another. Is the Pope due to make any big announcements? I'm sorry about the light going in and out all the time. It's like sun's doing weird things.
Sun's doing weird things. It's okay. We'll forgive you. It's darkness coming out.
Now, we talked about the modus proprio or whatever that thing's called from 2013, and that it had a 3-year period before it was to be fully enacted.
But again, I haven't been able to see any backup on that.
Yeah, but there's been some stuff posted. Like apparently Anna von Reitz said something about it, made reference to it as well.
Yeah.
And then apparently he's due to make, according to, what's this guy I can't stand, who's a bloody reptile, Simon Parks. According to Simon Parks, the Pope's due to make an announcement very soon.
I haven't heard anything. I thought there might be something. Well, what are we? We're the 27th already. So I thought there might have been something in that middle to September to end of September, because it was supposed to be that thing where there was a meeting of all religions in Jerusalem. But I think that ended on the 23rd. I'm not.
Is that the Together thing?
Huh?
Was that the Together thing?
Yeah, no, because that was another one. That's an American thing. But there was supposed to have been an arrangement that for a week or 10 days in Jerusalem, in the temple area, they would have all three faiths, Abrahamic faiths, so the Christians, the Jews, and the Muslims, meeting together to pray together, to talk together. And it was supposed to be a big thing. And there was rumors that Francis was going to show up and that there could be a big announcement. And that goes into that whole thing about, like I said, about the Jews making the arrangements, having the high priest for the first time in a fuck of a long time, to get ready to be able to start doing the altar sacrifices again. No, but nothing has played out that I've seen out of that. Like, I haven't, there's been no announcement. To the best of my knowledge, Francis didn't go to Jerusalem. I don't know.
According to Simon Parks, the Pope's going to make some kind of announcement, and when he does, that marks the beginning of the New World Order in full-blown, full form. That, what else was there in that? I know a bunch of you guys in the chat room probably watched that. They smell blood from the DNC now. Okay.
Yeah, the blood is in the water. The sharks are sharkling.
Morris says, no doubt in his mind it'll be the Pope that makes the official announcement.
I think so too. I think there's a very good chance that it'll be the Pope. I don't know. I haven't seen anything. To be quite honest, like, I've had a really swamped fucking week this week. Because we threw together the Hillary question symposium so quickly, I spent like Thursday, Friday, Saturday preparing for that and doing all kinds of research and stuff. I don't know.
Which Pope was it that made that thing in 2013?
It was Francis.
It was Francis.
Yeah. Benedict, the Lord Sidious stepped down as Pope in, I think it was January of 2013. January or February of 2013 is when Lord Sidious stepped down.
Yeah, it was right after, it wasn't long after he became Pope, yeah.
No. I don't know, darling. I just don't know. I did want to look at something. Just give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I got to go try and find something.
Okay, I'm going to bring up some stuff. Where are we?
Oh, come on.
But there's nothing on the schedule for him to make any announcements?
Not that I've seen. Trying to scroll back to something. I don't know. Oh yeah, Russia's UN envoy just literally came out and said that the US is backing al-Nusra and is still arming them. That was another really good one. And yeah, Russia firing those rockets on the 30 Israeli foreign intelligence officers, plus Americans, British, Turkish, and Saudi and Atari intelligence officers, and killing them all. Yeah, that was also a big thing last week.
Yeah, I think so too, Murray. The big show starts tonight with the debate.
Oh, it's big news, big news. I mean, you may have missed this. Brad and Angelina are breaking up.
Yeah. That.
Because that's not a fucking distraction right now. Like, that wasn't a fucking...
That's the internet. Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's the big distraction this week.
Did you see that little
Poor Brad, poor Angelina, the poor children. Yeah. Poor.
Did you see that conversation that was supposedly, it was Ange. She was talking on camera to a bunch of people.
I saw it go by and I haven't watched it yet. Did you watch it?
Well, I did. And because it's saying he's talking about ritual, the guy says that here she is sort of talking about her rituals into the Cabal and the Illuminati, blah, blah, blah. And I listened really carefully. And no, she could have just been talking about participating in S&M.
Yeah.
She was talking about some sexual stuff. She was talking about, being tied down, being held down, pain. She did say she had very, what was the word she used? Compromising, I think, footage and photos of a lot of people. But there was no mention that I caught of
Illuminati or child rituals or
any kind of, initiation into anything. She could have just been talking about a
really big S&M party.
Yeah. That's entirely possible, and someone's just sort of twisted it out of context. She did say something about killing a snake. Yes, she did. I caught that. But that also felt like it was kind of out of context, so it may have been edited together a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, it wasn't a conclusive kind of, I did this because I needed to get into – it was a ritual, so, so I could get into the club.
I wanted to be in the big boy club.
That wasn't there as far as I could see.
Yeah, but, I mean, the whole announcement, when I saw that was announced this week, I was like, of course, they got to have a celebrity distraction. Something to take the social media off. I mean, you can't keep sacrificing lions and gorillas. You got to come up with something a little bit fresh. And, Brad and Angelina. Angelina's jumped into that role lots and lots of times where she jumps in there and creates a massive, I chopped off my breasts because I'm going to get breast cancer. Bullshit.
Yeah. Huge distraction. Anyway.
Huge distraction. And I just distracted you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's all right. Between now and the end of the year, everything. I feel like everything. But hang on, now on the flip side, because there's always a flip side.
Uh-huh.
Over the last couple of weeks, and we talked about it a bit last week, I think, about the dreams that people are having.
Uh-huh.
Right? Now, even since then, in the UU room, people have been sharing the dreams by kids and their own stuff again.
Yep.
Now, I know that there is that magical age between 2 and 4, when your kids are 2 and 4, and they still remember.
Yes.
They just got to the point where they can articulate.
And then it seems to get wiped out.
And then it's before they go to school and it gets wiped out that they say the most extraordinary things. And we've got kids talking about and dreaming about going home, about that was the theme. Home in some way, shape or form was the theme. We've had dreams again. We're having dreams again collectively, it seems, about this all coming to an end, about being at home, about it feels like we are so close. And I want to say thank you and a hi to Jenny, who's may or may not be watching, for putting me up the other night on my road trip. And we started having a chat about some of this, and she's got friends who have been awake from the time they were little, who have known all along. And we we ended up getting back to this idea of an event, because people are starting to see again or remember again or dream again or envision again some kind of an event. That whatever's going to go down in a positive way is going to happen really, really quickly. And, okay, we keep talking about timelines and all sorts of things, but if it's something like that, or this two Earth concept, this reality that I find myself in now is
so fucking alien.
It's so bad that it's almost as if, and that feeling of compression that we've been talking about, you know, like even the sky feels lower, and there's this feeling of compression, and the Fibonacci thing that we talked about, getting down into 0 point. It's like the contrast is getting greater and greater and greater between the reality we find ourselves in and the vision that we all have of what it can be, and the longing for it and all of it is becoming so great that we are getting to this 0 point spot where it's just going to pop. Just that feeling that we are so close, so close.
Well, it's so funny because someone posted a meme in the Unfuckers room today, I think, that was like, I whisper, what the fuck, several times a day or something along those lines. And I was like, no, I actually say it out loud, and usually very loud, like, what the fuck? Multiple times a day, because it's just, shit happens all the time. And I'm saying, this is so my reality. It is so alien, this reality. The shit's going on. I just like, there are days when I just, I can't deal with this anymore. It's just like fucked up to the nth degree. Something.
But I actually put a comment in the UU room the other day about how, like, Facebook, Google, and YouTube are all up to some major changes, right?
Yep.
YouTube have got this YouTube Academy, YouTube School or something or other, and basically it's designed where you are you're rewarded for reporting people. They've made changes so that it's getting harder and harder to reach your audience.
Yep.
Right? And for people to actually get information out there. Facebook has done the same. Facebook have changed their algorithms.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a fucking disaster now.
They've been affecting people for months. So even normal businesses are having trouble communicating with their customers.
Yep.
But people like, I know Wake Up World, for example, madly affected by this. It's getting harder to talk to the people who like to.
Yeah. I've had the same thing. But I noticed even 6 months ago, all of a sudden, all my RTS posts from the RTS page went from getting like, X many views, or what do they say on one of its pages, like people you've
seen by
or whatever, to all of a sudden it was like, oh. And then sometimes it'll start to climb up again, and then it just drops. And sometimes it drops down to like ludicrous numbers, because I sit there and I'll go, okay, wait a second. I know that on my back wall, like, you can go and you can see how many hits an article got and where they came from, where the traffic came from. And you can go, okay, there was like 2,000 people who from Facebook went in, and yet Facebook's is saying that it was seen by 125.
But the flip side is, instead of putting my stuff in front of the people who regularly would look at it, read it, click on it, they're throwing my stuff in front of people who never see it.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw that post that you put in there. I thought that was funny.
Suddenly, I'm seeing people from high school, right, that I might have been friends with on Facebook for 5 years, but I haven't seen anything of their posts for 4.5 of them.
Yeah.
Right? And they're seeing mine. So I'm getting all these comments from people that names mean nothing to me because they're not normally someone who would comment or commentate. And it's like, oh, okay, so you might not be putting me in front of the people who actually want to see this stuff. You're actually putting me in front of people who don't, or who aren't aware, or who don't know about this stuff, because I can tell from the comments.
Okay, but or is that...
So the flip side is that we're reaching a whole new audience, and that audience is not familiar, which is awesome.
Is that solace? Solace is fucking with the algorithms going, you know what, if she's just been talking to the same people for too long, we need to spread this out, get this to some new people. Okay, I want to read something. This was a post that was up in the UnFuckers today, and it was kind of like one of those things, that's interesting. I'm just going to read this. Hold on if I can get back to the page. JC wrote this and said, I had a strange thought today while watching a video. This one's for all the alien enthusiasts. What if thousands of years ago, we, the people, were given to the elite as slaves, but we were turned off mentally so we could be better slaves? Now, this is where it gets weird. What if the elite were told they could only use us if we stayed turned off? And if we did flip that switch in our minds back on, they could no longer keep us. Could that be why there is a random collecting of specimens and random alien inspections, and why the elite work so hard to keep us dumbed down? I thought that was a really kind of interesting, because there's been a few stories that I've kind of over the years touched on stuff like that, and I was like, the mass awakening stuff, right? And this is the whole alien agenda stuff is an interesting one to look at, because like I said, we have a huge programming out there out of Hollywood, out of the usual characters, the usual suspects, if you will, that the aliens are coming, they're bad, they're evil, they're going to take over the planet, they're going to blow us up, they're going to harvest us, they're going to take everything away from us, etc. That is the ongoing, for other than very few movies that you can kind of name on one hand, for the last 30 years. E.T., the movie Paul, which is still one of my favorite movies to this day. My kids love that movie. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Okay, so 3 movies that I can name off the last 30 years. The aliens were not out to get everyone. So whenever you see that for me, I kind of go, okay, set up the programming. The programming is there. The programming is obviously that they want you to think the aliens are coming to get you. So does that mean that the aliens actually are the good guys, so that when they show up, everyone will go, oh, get back, we've been warned about you? That's one of those things I've been toying with for fucking 10 years. 10 years of like playing around with that one in my head. So, yeah, it depends on the alien, sure. Depends on anything. But yeah, the last Mimsy. Okay, the last Mimsy. That was an interesting one. Although technically that wasn't aliens, that was us from the future. So not quite. No, and that's okay. I don't think all aliens are bad. I think that would be like saying all
humans are bad.
All Muslims are jihadists and are coming to kill you. Or all Irishmen are terrorists. Or all white people in the southern states are rednecks. Okay.
Okay, where was I with all that?
I have no idea. I was just trying to sidetrack everything again.
The point being, though, I think that on the one hand, if they're trying to disconnect us from communicating with each other, the flip side of that is they're putting us in front of people that don't.
A new audience?
The ones who need to be slapped away. And I'm seeing it happen both online and offline, that the community aspect thing is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, the people wanting to get out of this virtual bullshit that we've created and into something more real, more organic, more solid, more face-to-face. The community aspect is growing. People are, it might look like a negative effect, whereas in the sense of breaking people up, but these communities they might be smaller, but they're stronger.
Yep.
And that's what I'm seeing. Because
Oh, I hear the butcher birds in the background, Lisa. That just made me sad. I miss the butcher birds.
Anyway, this sense of community that kind of birthed for me and for a lot of people that associated with me and us back in 2013
Yep.
has just gone from strength to strength.
Absolutely.
We are more, I don't know what the word is, we are more capable, and I don't know, it's like we're stronger in ways that we were prior to 2012.
I agree.
The idea that something shifted, maybe that whole old reality or old timeline did frigging close out. I don't know, but I can't find the words for what I'm trying to express, but there's something that's shifted in the collective yet again, just really recently. And we want something tangible again. You know?
Yeah.
Something organic and real and solid again in community. It's
Well, you know what's funny? So, did I show you the back? I can't remember if I did that one day, if I showed you with the camera the back of the building where we're in. So, I'll take a picture of it and I'll show. So, the building that we're in backs right up to one of the traditional Gazaton hills, right? And the hills are all stepped because for thousands of years, they farmed them. So they step and they wall it and they make stepped gardens. So behind the building, there's a pool, and then there's the next level up, and there's this massive, huge, I mean, the size of almost the size of a soccer field, a little narrower, but that kind of size, that the owners of the building want to turn into a garden. And I've been talking to Ben about it, and I've been talking to Jesse, because I'm like, this week, I've had this drive. Like, I just keep going out to my balcony and looking at this big empty piece of land. And we've had rain here. We've had a couple of storms. So everything is about to start going green here really, really quick. And I'm like, today I have to get in. I'm going to put together a proposal, because they're not doing anything. And I'm going to put together a proposal. And so I draw it out and design it and be like, and it's like this neat, I just want to get into the soil. I just want to do something tangible. Like you said, it's like a tangible, real thing. Does that make sense?
yeah, totally exactly what you mean, because it's what I've been, yeah.
It's something that makes something that does something, that is like unplugged from the computers and everything, but just, and it's like, for example, so our big UnFuckers gathering that we're going to do, you know, and I've had a pile of messages from people who said, do we have to wait till May? Like, do we have to wait that long? And I've been like, I can put one together for like November. I've just said May, so we give people more time to save up if they've got to fly somewhere or travel, et cetera, et cetera. But I get that whole, like, people want to come together. And I was just like, you know, so maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe that call to gather together is something that we should be listening to. And you know, like, so I named a date. I named a time and said, like, May 2017, we're going to have the Unfuckers gathering, and we're going to set up a whole bunch of them all over the world, and people can get together and have like a week together, whether it's camping or whatever. Maybe we shouldn't be waiting that long. Maybe we should be setting up things sooner. Maybe if people have got the wherewithal and the ability to and the want, maybe we should be doing it sooner. And maybe they need.
It's going to take me a minute to get the funds to come to Malta. So.
Well, yeah, I know. But like I said, if I threw something together in November, you could do it in Australia because it would be good weather in Australia in November, right? So it's just one of those things. I just said, you know, maybe because there seems to be this call. I mean, everyone was so excited. I mean, the Unfucker room just exploded for a few days as everyone was talking about coming together.
Do it now.
People were like going like, well, I'm in Northern California. So who else is around? Okay, well, there's so-and-so and so-and-so are down here, and so-and-so is here, and someone's up here. And oh, I could get it from Oregon. I can get it, you know, down in like, it was, well, I'm in Virginia or I'm in Florida, and I'm well, we all come to here. It's only a 4-hour drive to get to there. And it was exciting to see people really pulling on wanting to do that. And obviously in certain things it's like weather. So I mean, like, you know, no one wants to have a camp out in Canada in October or November. Trust me. Done it. Parents, children. I have done it. It's not pleasant. It's my dreams we can get the groups together. Absolutely.
Yeah, all the groups together. Absolutely. I mean, we did that on the Opal tour. When we launched the Opal tour in Tehachapi, there was a group here in Australia that got together at the same time, and we had a computer set up at each end, and everyone just started talking and, you know, communicate. And people went on for hours. You know, people from both ends would come in and chat with each other, and it was awesome.
And that's exactly it. And I mean, maybe that's something we should be working towards. Is just saying, you know what? If people want to get together, we'll get together. And let's just fucking do it. So I mean, like for me, I'm in Europe. So to fly to Malta from Europe is dirt fucking cheap. And you can get flights from Italy to Malta I booked one, 16 euros one way. 16 euros for me to fly from Malta to Rome. Okay, you can fly from Malta to England for like 45 pounds sterling.
Jerry, Jerry just said the first one to win the lottery buys the island.
Yeah, well, I've already said that. I put that out ages ago. We're still looking for Unfuckers Island.
Well, we've actually gone over time, so I'm just going to quickly finish off on this because it's related.
Yes, good.
With this sense of community, and due to events over the last 12 months in particular, and feeling like I don't want to be, I don't know, Facebook, I don't like the energy of Facebook anymore. And just feeling like I want to create, build, and surround myself with my tribe a little tighter and closer. A whole bunch of reasons. That I created a membership site, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Share screen. So it's just called LMH members. And the idea is it's its own social network. You can come in here and create your own groups and your own forums. The collective imagination, the show that I was doing with Barbara, I'm going to do that as a work group, so that it's not a show as such, that people who are interested come together and we can be more collaborative and do something every week. We're also bringing in people to do teachings, workshops, things like that for the members. From now on, to be part of a live audience for one of my interviews or some of these symposiums that I plan on doing, or roundtables, you have to be a member to be there live. And the archives will be available exclusively for members for about a month, depending on what it is. You'll get access to our Zoom account so that you can book time book the Zoom room for your own group discussions and things, and a library. And I'm just going to go up here. This is what happens when you log in. You should have this full dashboard here, and you can go to your wall. This is your social profile. So you've got a news feed, just like Facebook basically. You can upload photos, put in links, you can like, you can comment, you can do all that sort of stuff on your wall, on your news feed, on your wall. You can send messages, you can go to your friends, you can do all the basic social media stuff, create groups, and then you've got your member content. So the library, schedule for interviews, where you get the links to join live, the details on workshops that are coming up, the collective imagination group, and to book time in your Zoom room. So the first workshop that we're doing starts on Thursday morning, so Wednesday evening, and it's actually on Keshe Tech. So what I found, I am really interested in the whole Keshe Tech. I want to see if it works. I've had a little bit of experience with it in terms of using a pen, one of the pain pens, and that was really positive. But to get in there, to jump in there and start learning how to do this and make this, it's kind of overwhelming because you've got to jump into these 2 to 4 hour lectures with people who've been doing it for hours. Years even. Or you go back through thousands of hours worth of these workshops. And so John, who is tech support for Keshe, has agreed to come in and do training with us once a week. That, as I said, starts on Thursday. And
Right,
Thursday
basics. Right,
yeah, Thursday
on the bare basics.
Thursdays will be basically all of the theory on why this works, an introduction to how it works, why it works, you know, getting understanding the language of it and everything. And then as of next week, we'll start working together as a team on building, I think, the pain pens first, and we'll work our way through all of the healing stuff, because that way we've got tools and we can test it, see if it works, get the results, all of that, before moving on to, say, the Maggrave units and all of that. So once a week we'll be doing that training. But that's the first of quite a few planned workshops and trainings. Again, I want to do it, stuff that you guys are interested in doing and learning.
Please,
Yes.
quick question from the chat room. They'll be recorded, the lessons, so that
Yep.
they can be watched?
Yep.
But will that be members only content?
What I may, yes, but what I may do is put them together as packages. Like, say we get, maybe it takes us 4 weeks and we get through the pens, right? And then we move on to something else. What I might do is put those together as a package that can be sold very cheaply, just to give John something for everything that he's been doing in his time. Going to get the Soil Doctor boys in to do some stuff on all the permaculture and gardening and things like that.
On pooping gardens.
Yep. On how there's a lot of subjects, because I know for the most part what we're interested in is getting back to basics and getting back to community, getting back to earth. Donna, it's because I can't send you emails. I've tried over and over again. Your emails are all bouncing from me. I've tried to email you many times. Yeah. So yeah, permaculture. I actually want to do one on orgonite as well, how to make orgonite. If any of you guys know somebody who really is good at making orgonite, put them forward to me, because I'd love to get started in making some of that stuff.
But more importantly, not just good at making it, good at explaining it.
Yeah. So there's a spot there where you could also put forward suggestions and make suggestions for who you'd like me to approach to bring in to run workshops for the members.
As soon as I have a decent spot, I'm going to do some workshops on teaching how to make skincare. When
Yes.
I get a spot where I can do it, because I can't do it in my kitchen right now. It's scary. I have a kitchen that's so fucking small. I've seen bigger kitchens probably in your camper that you had, at least.
Someone said, love to learn how to grow mushrooms.
I have a guy who could teach that course.
And so, yeah, we do. So that's the idea. I don't care what you're interested in. If you want to come in and create a group around that, you know, and invite people in to be part of that group, you can do it. So it's a space off Facebook where you can have groups, you can have forums, whatever subject is of interest to you. You can use the Zoom account so that you guys can have, your group can, you know, get together and have discussions. And we can bring, you know, different people in to start training on different subjects. So that's the idea. I don't want to have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I'd rather have a smaller community that I can just really, I don't know, people who are interested in the same things, wanting to do similar things in terms of practical moving forward, back to basics, creative, new techs, healing, whatever it is. So that's the idea. And it's just LNH members. You can get there from my regular website. I did get your emails, Donna, and I have been trying to reply, but I can't reply. They all bounce back. Yes, the membership site is $5 Australian a month.
It works out to like $375 or $377
US. Oh, well, I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you how to do it because that would be easier.
Yeah.
People have mucked it up, I have to say. So on the front page, there's just a Join Now button. Click on that.
You may not be able to do it without signing up.
He wants to be really stuck. No, I should be able to take it, yeah. And then it'll give you an option, monthly, quarterly, every 6 months, or save $10, $50 for the year. So I'll click on that. Buy now. Agree to the house rules, which are pretty simple. Respect everybody. Don't click on pay by previous arrangement unless you've actually contacted me to make one. And then it's just PayPal or Stripe. And that's it. That's how you do it. Does that answer questions?
How much is that in pounds? Chris, don't you have a cash converter on your computer?
I don't know. It sounds like small change in pounds.
Hold on. Give me a second. AU 2 pounds sterling.
Yes, there are still a couple of little glitches on the social side of things that I'm working on fixing.
£2 94 pence. There you go. £2 94p.
How do you find people? Okay, I have to share the screen again. Hang on. The easiest way is to go up here and go down to members, and that will.
I just had everyone. Me personally, I'm just like add.
That will bring up all the members, and you can just click on that little plus sign, and that's how you add your members. Find friends, stuff like that. What else? Was there any other questions?
Lee, yes, you can pay through Stripe. Stripe allows you to pay with a credit card, I think with a debit card as well, depending on if you've got it hooked up. So yeah, no, I think Lisa would prefer people didn't use PayPal because they're such fucktards. Um,
Yeah, you can use Stripe. Use Stripe. Oh my God.
Trying to bypass PayPal because I still don't have my PayPal account back.
Yeah, I know. I know, Tom. I'm working on that for you. I have no idea why that's happening for just a couple of people.
It happened to me too, Tom. I was like, Lisa, I don't have a dashboard. Could you give me a dashboard?
Yes, Laurie.
Dawn, you still don't have yours back either? Seriously?
Dawn's banned for life from PayPal.
Yeah.
You naughty girl.
Yeah, she did. She sent me a donation in Morocco, and you know, I'm like some kind of Islamic terrorist. Even though I have business.
You don't need a Stripe account. You don't have to go
It's just like if you have your credit card, the way you would pay for anything with a credit card, it pulls up. Stripe is just like a conduit. So you can literally just go into the Stripe, it'll ask you for your credit card number, do your secure payment. That's it.
Yeah, it's not the absolute privacy invasion that PayPal is at all. Are you bragging or complaining, Dawn?
I was just going to say that Dawn's an unfucker. She's bragging. That's right.
Oh, they got the money back.
For life from PayPal.
After 6 months, they gave her her money back finally.
Yeah. Fucking after they made all their money trading off your money on the black markets, yeah.
So that's my list. What else was there? I think that's it. We've gone. Well, I haven't been here that long, but overall, 20 minutes over.
It's only 1:20 in the morning. Maybe I'll stay up and watch the debate. I just need to get more coffee, that's all.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So are you guys all going to watch?
Nobody wants to know, how do we submit an idea for a teaching show?
If you go to the workshop page, so members, content, workshops, there's a little link on the bottom. It says click here to put details in.
Okay.
To make a suggestion. Are you going to watch through WWII? That should be good. Oh, how are you going to do that? He's live cast. Oh, he's live streaming it somehow.
Ooh.
WWII. WWII, I would imagine. He's talking about.
I would definitely want to watch his version just because I'm sure he'll have some commentary to throw in. He'll be like, "Fuckers, you know."
For WWII, he's going to be.
So yes, if you just go to WWII on his YouTube page, it'll probably be right up there. Watch live right now. I've just been joking that it seems like I've got all these various symposiums and stuff coming up, and they're getting later and later at night, and longer and longer. That I'm gonna have to put out for donations for an espresso machine. Because we're gonna have to jump up to go from like coffee to it's gonna have to be espresso soon. It's really gonna have to be Saturday night. Well, it was Quinlan's birthday Saturday, and I totally forgot. I'm a horrible mom because I totally forgot it was her birthday when I arranged for the symposium to be Saturday night. So we all went out for dinner, and then we met with a bunch of friends of ours on the beach for Quinlan to swing fire poi for her 14th birthday. And I guess it was like quarter after 10. I'm like, I have to go home because I have a political symposium in like less than 2 hours. And on the way, I'm like, right, and we're stopping at our favorite cafe because I need espresso. It's like a little restaurant that we always go to that's just phenomenal. And I go in, I just like, one of my special lattes, which means it's a double shot of espresso. So.
Okay, apparently WWII's already started streaming 10 minutes ago.
And there'll probably be a live chat, I would assume.
Sorry, Lisa, please respond verbally to what? Sorry, what have I missed? We could keep this open now
Yeah.
and stream Dabu. Is anybody interested in doing that? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Ioma. Oh, Loma. I'm not sure what it's saying there. Can you type privately what you want me to respond to? Because I didn't see it.
The chat room's going so fast that luckily it's only just like one word of yes, you know. And Maria, fuck no, I'm going to bed. Well, it is 1:30 in the morning for us, Maria. So I get it.
All right. Well, hang on. Let me find that link again, and I can bring it up, and then we'll.
I'll just sit here and chain smoke for, I don't know, one more cigarette anyways. Ha ha ha.